Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, I'm back here with another banger, man. And today we are reacting to why the UFC banned these fighters, bro. If it's your first time seeing me on your screen and you're new to the channel, drop a like on the video, man. We're getting good views on these reactions, but I need the likes, man. I need the likes so these videos can get pushed. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Why do UFC ban these fighters? Whoa.
Sucker punching opponents.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Shoving referees.
We cut him. He'll never fight in the UFC ever again.
And putting the promotion in a bad light.
This is the guy, Matt Riddle, who did an interview and said, I smoke marijuana so I don't beat my wife and children. Oh my.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a job, bro. It's a job. All right, so me personally, I never post about my job on social media because I don't want to lose it. It's the same thing with the NBA, the NFL, the UFC. You don't do that. You smoke marijuana so you don't beat your wife and children. Yeah, nah, buddy.
Oh my.
Pack him up. He deserved to be packed
for a
up.
number of different reasons.
They kicked him out of the UFC, the first guy ever to get kicked out of the UFC for holding on to submission. He definitely holds too long.
He's got it. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, he didn't let go.
With some layoffs being a little too harsh. But as Max Holloway often says,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And here are 10 UFC fighters who got the boot.
Kid got charged with 29 felonies.
29 felonies.
Surprise, surprise! The king is back!
Paul Daly. He was one of Britain's brightest stars when he signed with the UFC, but his promotional stint only lasted 3 fights, with the final one being against Josh Koscheck in a welterweight title eliminator at UFC 113.
We had an incident with a guy named Paul Daly who hit somebody after the fight was over. We cut him. He'll never fight in the UFC ever again.
The winner was slated for a shot.
That's crazy, bro.
So
you see how fast. I'm sorry for pausing the video so much too, but you see how fast like 5 seconds of anger can cause you a lifetime of pain and trauma, and it can open another door of just terrible things, bro. That's why you gotta remain composed at all times, no matter what, chat. No matter how mad you get, no matter how you feel about somebody, bro. Keep your composure, dog.
Would have been for days.
Because I bet he regret that right now today, bro.
Swiftly dashed as the blanket controlled Semtex throughout their fight to earn a landslide unanimous decision victory. But that's not the fun part.
Oh! Daly punches Koscheck at the end of the fight, and look at Dan Mergliotta. Oh! Wow.
Oh, are you kidding me? Come on.
That was terrible. That's not what this sport is all about.
That's crazy, bro.
For that. Absolutely, as he should.
I mean, that was the best shot he landed in the whole fight.
The UFC brass was furious, and they fired Daly as well as banning him for life.
He'll never come back here again.
We're talking Paul Daly.
Yeah.
You're cutting him from the UFC.
Yeah. He'll never come back. There's no excuse for that. It was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and he's done. I don't care if he fights in every show all over the world and becomes the best, and everybody thinks he's the pound-for-pound best in the world. He will never fight in the UFC ever again.
Which the Brit thinks was a bit harsh, and maybe it was, considering the number of chances Rousimar Palhares got despite his dirty tricks inside the octagon.
They kicked him out of the UFC, the first guy ever to get kicked out of the UFC for holding on to submission. He definitely holds too long.
He resumed his dirty tactics again against Mike Pierce in 2013. In just 31 seconds, the Brazilian caught his opponent in a heel hook, which had Pierce tapping both physically and verbally. But Palhares wouldn't let go. He had to be forced to let go of the submission hold by the referee.
Palhares has a collection of legs back home, and he's out! And how about that? Mike Pierce hits the mat, he's already tapping. A completely different...
That's messed up, bro.
Investigated by the powers that be, and after lengthy consideration, the Brazilian was found guilty of being a piece of crap and was ultimately fired by the UFC.
Last night there was kind of an ugly incident. Rousimar Palhares, he had his opponent in an ankle lock. His opponent tapped out, and Palhares wouldn't let go.
This is the second incident we've had with Palhares where he had the lock and he didn't let it go. Finally, he let it go, but I'm gonna cut him too.
He's...
That's messed up, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a lesson. Apparently, it's gonna be a lesson with every single one of these. With great power comes great responsibility, bro. Like, all right, so boom, you beat the dude. Boom, you got him in a. When you feel that tap, bro, let go. Let go, man. What's the point in holding on and potentially breaking that man? You feel me? Putting him out. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. Don't do that, man. That's wrong, bro. That's wrong, bro.
Despite getting kicked out of the world's top MMA promotion, Palhares continued his villainous ways at the World Series of Fighting, where he poked Jake Shields' eyeballs out.
He poked his eyeballs out. Oh, wait. Can we? Whoa. Whoa.
You're using your fingers, man. Okay? You can't do this.
Before holding on to submission for longer than needed.
He rolls out to Kimura, but this is it. It's all over. And once again,
That's crazy, bro.
maintains the hold. Clearly the tap is coming in the corner of Jake Shields. They are furious.
Dang, he a dirty fighter for real, chat.
Gets the arm. There's the tap. There's the tap. Mazzagati's trying to get him off.
He's just punishing that guy. You know, he makes it scarier for other people, and he's probably used to doing it.
Next on our list is MMA fighter turned pro wrestling superstar Matt Riddle.
Bro.
Matt Riddle
started out in the UFC under Dana White's leadership. Riddle built up an impressive record, but ran into trouble when he tested positive for marijuana, not once, but twice.
Now, the reason he's not in the UFC anymore is because he could not pass a drug test. And think about this. You have to go to work 3 times a year, and you couldn't pass a drug test? You're so weak-minded and so addicted to marijuana that you couldn't stay off it enough to pass a drug test 3 times a year. Well, guess what, dummy? They drug test in the real world, too. And I want to know where this rocket scientist is going to go and make $100,000 a year. And also, this is the guy, Matt Riddle, who did an interview and said, I smoke marijuana so I don't beat my wife and children.
Oh, my.
You can't say that, bro. You just can't say that. That's kind of bad, bro. You get drug tested. You have to go to work. He has to fight 3 times a year, and he can't pass a marijuana drug test, bro. That is weak-minded, bro. That's sad. But he was chiefing every day, probably.
UFC 149, where Riddle's victory against Chris
Bro probably chiefed after every workout.
He failed his post-fight drug test, whereas in February 2013, his win over Che Mills suffered the same fate when he tested positive for marijuana again, resulting in another wellness policy violation. With this being Riddle's second drug test failure in less than a year, the company made the decision to release him.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Mr. White, you know. I don't think he has good business ethics. He is an asshole. He was really cold-blooded towards me.
No, bro.
He knew one of your employees
you can't say
shot.
how you gonna be mad? See, I ain't gonna lie. And he's not even taking like accountability, bro. Like you didn't pass your drug test, so why you mad at Dana White for kicking you out? Off? If he don't kick you off, it's making him look bad. It's making his whole business look bad. You feel me? Take accountability, bro. You couldn't stop chiefing, gang. You couldn't stop chiefing. So now you don't got a job.
And was still doing good work, but failed a drug test again. Like, maybe he needs help, you know? Like, maybe we can go another route with this, right? I don't think he does things properly. I don't think he treats people properly. I just don't think he's a good person.
Much like Riddle, Ruslan Magomedov had trouble with drug tests multiple times as well. Although his violations were
I bet it wasn't no marijuana.
Magomedov was suspended for the first time in 2016, where he tested positive for a selective androgen receptor modulator intended to enhance muscle growth. His second violation took place in October 2018, and it involved 2 steroid metabolites. The situation worsened in February the following year, when he declined to provide a sample. As a result, the USADA imposed a lifetime ban on him, effectively ending any possibility of him competing in the UFC again. Now, no matter what you do, just don't dare touch a referee. That's where Dana White draws the line, and Jason High found it the hard way. After losing to Rafael dos Anjos via second-round TKO in 2014, High shoved referee Kevin Mulhall, angered by what he believed were shots to the back of the head delivered by his opponent that led to the stoppage.
Dos Anjos drops him there. Hang in the pocket, he might get the finish here. Jason High is hanging in there somehow.
I ain't gonna lie. Comment down below. Where are those shots to the back of the head? Now let's see how he pushed them.
Rafael dos Anjos.
As a result, he was fired by the UFC, even though he apologized for his actions on Twitter. Maybe High would have gotten away with it if he was a big name, because for guys at the bottom of the barrel, the margins for error are close to zero. But that doesn't mean the UFC doesn't give anybody second chances. Just take Thiago Silva.
They look like shots to the back.
Early
Thiago Silva got banned?
Silva evaded charges in Florida where he faced accusations of brandishing a gun.
I never knew this. Thiago Silva was tough. He was like that.
At his estranged wife and threatening to kill her. Initially banned from UFC competition by Dana White, Silva was reinstated after the charges were dropped.
Let's talk a little bit about Thiago Silva. You know, after his domestic violence arrest, you took him back. You originally said he'd never fight in the UFC again. Why'd you take him back?
I said he'd never fight in the UFC again when his SWAT team was around his house and things weren't looking too good for Thiago Silva.
Makes sense. Good point.
That's legit.
When the SWAT team is surrounding your house, probably a good chance you're in big trouble. He went through the process and no charges were filed against him, and they let him go. You're innocent until proven guilty, and the guy walks. If there was some type of video or something like that turned up on Thiago, then yeah, it would be a different story.
However, his opportunity ran out after a few months later, after video footage emerged showing him holding a gun and accusing his wife of harboring another man in their home. At one point in the video, his wife was heard stating that she's recording to provide evidence in case Silva did something terrible. The UFC...
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm sorry for pausing so much, but this video is full of lessons. Don't crash out over a woman. Do I got a sound for that? Do I got a sound for that? I don't got a sound for that. Don't crash out over a woman, ever. Cause now look, my dog done. Thiago Silva was like that. Like he was like that. I remember him from back in the day. He was like that. So don't crash out over a woman. Don't, never. What kind of man is that? Just walk away, dude. Just leave. Tell her to get out of your house or go somewhere else, bro.
UFC fired Silva in the immediate aftermath of the incident. And moving on, BJ Penn met a similar fate after he caused a scene in the streets in 2009.
BJ Penn?
After losing 7 in a row inside the octagon, BJ Penn went headhunting on the streets of Hawaii in 2019. In a series of videos published by TMZ that year, Penn was observed exchanging punches with a man outside the Lava Shack bar in Pahoa on the Big Island of Hawaii. He managed to land at least 3 punches before bystanders intervened. Another video later depicted Penn being knocked out by the same individual during a street fight, after which the UFC legend was released by the promotion. Now Dana and the company had been seeking a justification to release him even before the video emerged. White had previously voiced his hesitation to keep giving Penn fights due to the noticeable decline in his skill set.
BJ is too tough for his own good. BJ might not be knocked out, but the shots that BJ took would have knocked out a normal human being. He's taken a lot of damage, and I don't want to see him take any more.
And the street fight made it a whole lot easier for the UFC to let the legend go.
We have a deal now, win, lose, or draw. This is BJ Penn's last fight.
How do you ensure that?
Because I won't give him another fight.
Right.
He won't fight here, though. That I guarantee you.
Another legend that ended his...
But dang, BJ Penn was out in the streets fighting in Hawaii. How do you fight somebody in the streets of Hawaii, bro? Like, do Hawaii even got, like, a hood, for real? Like, Hawaii get down like that shit? But nah, BJ Penn was so good that did not taint his legacy at all. All the L's he took towards the end of his career, all the shots and stuff, the damage and stuff he took, all as much as he got beat up, bro, he was so good at what he did, and like he was BJ Penn, bro. BJ Penn was like one of the first UFC fighters I ever knew. That's how good his face card was, though. Yeah. You don't never hear about that.
On the sour note was the axe murderer Wanderlei Silva. In May
Wanderlei
2014, Silva evaded a drug test the NSAC tried to conduct at his Las Vegas gym, which Silva later confessed was because he had taken diuretics. The NSAC slapped the Brazilian with a lifetime ban for his violation, and a few days later he announced his retirement from MMA. In May 2015, however, his ban was overturned, meaning that he was eligible to fight again. However, Silva then criticized UFC fights, likening them to a circus, and declared he would never fight in the promotion again. A few months later, Silva apologized for his remarks, but he was subsequently released by the UFC. Now, Ottman Azaitar's antics on UFC Fight Island in 2020 was straight out of a Hollywood thriller. In January 2021, the undefeated lightweight was set to face Matt Favola.
Was my phone ringing?
UFC 257. However, on the day of the weigh,
my phone was ringing.
he shockingly withdrew from the fight, and it was later revealed that Ottman had violated safety protocols related to COVID.
Ottman Azaitar, we're all excited about seeing him fight. We now know that he's not, and the press release has said that it's a health and safety violation. I'm surprised at that, because how do you do that out here?
It's pretty amazing, actually, yeah. So he and his team cut off their wristbands, gave them to somebody outside the bubble. I don't know how they even did it. That guy taped them, showed up here with a bag, went into a room, shimmied across 4 balconies, went in his room, dropped the bag off, changed his clothes, and then left. Now, when security tried to stop him, he wouldn't stop. Either way, yeah, it's just that. He's gone. He's no longer a UFC fighter, and he's not fighting tonight.
So he's been cut from the UFC off the back of that?
Yep.
Due to this breach, Azaitar was released from the UFC, but then his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, worked his magic and got him reinstated.
What was in the bag?
They can ask, no problem.
Not going to tell us that?
No problem, you can ask. But the thing is, let's say I come in to this room with a bag. Why would you ask me what's in the bag? What's in your bag?
This guy supposedly broke into a bubble to get you said bag. So that's a bit different than if you brought one in here today.
Have you been there in this bubble?
I was in the bubble, yeah.
Did someone check your bag before you went in?
They sprayed it, they didn't check it.
So, my bags also were not checked. No one ever checked my bag, so why this big secret around this bag? If I wanted to sneak anything in, I could have done it without any, like Mission Impossible or sending Spider-Man to give Batman something.
It's a lot of superhero friends that you have.
Yeah, I belong to these guys, you know, Ottman, Batman, Ant-Man,
it's the same
all these guys.
On the list is also the most controversial one of all time. In 2008, John Copenhaver, commonly known as War Machine, was let go from the UFC after declining a fight offer from UFC matchmaker Joe Silva and making controversial comments regarding the death of fellow UFC fighter Evan Tanner, who died due to heat exhaustion while on a solo trip to the rural desert of Palo Verde. On his MySpace page, War Machine speculated that Tanner had gone to the isolated Southern California desert to take his own life after realizing his career might have been over and he had not made much money from it. Despite medical examiners later determining that Tanner's death was not a suicide, War Machine stood by his remarks. Needless to say, War Machine was fired by the UFC for causing unnecessary controversy.
Crazy,
Years later,
bro.
the controversial MMA fighter was handed life imprisonment for raping and assaulting his estranged girlfriend.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa! He was a bad person, bro. I ain't gonna lie, straight up.
He got charged with 29 felonies.
Straight up, bro.
He's the one that beat up the porn star, you know.
They call him the War
Machine.
War Machine. She got beat up, bro. You see those pictures?
Bro, he broke her teeth and shit. I mean, 29 felonies. Jesus Christ.
So these were 10 fighters who were kicked out of the UFC. Who do you guys think deserves a second chance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time seeing me on your screen, like I said in the beginning of the video, drop a like, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to see more reactions just like this. How y'all feel about this video in the comment section, bro? This video had a lot of lessons in it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of lessons. But the overall lesson is control yourself, man. Don't be stupid, bro. With that being said, man, all my girls, y'all stay cute. All my boys, y'all take it easy, man. Hey, I will see y'all in the next reaction video.